Last year, writer San Luis wrote an article published in SLR Lounge with the title 135 Lens, 25 Photos That Will Make You Need It. And some of my images are there in the article with some other photographers who often use this lens. I do use this lens quite often, in addition to other lenses that I have in my bag, from super wide range and fixed lenses. Initially, I didn't purchase this lens with the hope of getting an image with super blurred background or foreground. It is true that this lens can make effects like that easily, especially if the subject is very close to your lens. As we know, several factors that determine the depth of field are: first, lens focal length. The longer, the narrower the depth of field. A 135mm lens has a narrower depth of field than 85mm as an example. The second, lens aperture. The smaller the number of diaphragm, like 1.2, 1.8, or 2.0, is a relatively small number with a narrower depth of field. Number 3, the distance between lens and the object also determines depth of field. The closer, the narrower the depth of field. Same story with the distance between the subject and the background. Number 4 is sensor size. The bigger the sensor, the narrower depth of field. And the last one is the lens diameter, or ring of the lens. This also affects the depth of field. The bigger diameter, like 77mm, 82mm, and so on, the greater the possibility of narrow depth of field. To be honest, I have tried almost all lenses in about the same range, like 70 to 200 f2.8 or f4, or 70 to 300mm. But all of them are too heavy for me. I like to travel light. That's why I finally decided to keep this lens for the last 11 years. So it is actually the weight factor as a first consideration. The weight of this lens only 750 grams, while in the average 70 to 200 f2.8 lenses weighs double. The next reason may be because it is matched with my type of photography that requires mystical nuances, fairy tale look with very quiet environment, not crowded. Basically, I'm not a bokeh lover or extremely shallow depth of field that really makes background really blur. Because for me, there's a lot to tell in the background of the photo, like where the photo was taken, to tell everything surround the subject or everything behind the subject of the photo. All have to be shown, even though they don't really as clear as the main subject. But we still notice that it is a house or that it is a hill over there at the background. Anyway, after several years of using this lens, my conclusion is: first, it is indeed a light tele lens compared to zoom lens in the same range. The second, a fairly fast autofocus. I can do a continuous focus for the subject that's coming towards me, for example. Number 3, excellent sharpness. Number 4, easier and cheaper maintenance because this is a fixed lens. The cost of cleaning this lens is cheaper than a zoom lens, for example. Number 5, great for isolating the subject. And it is good also for videos to get a dramatic ambience. But there are some downside points of this lens. Number 1, we must be extra careful in focusing. The narrower depth of field you set, the bigger chance of missing focus, especially if we shoot human as our subject. Number two, not like zoom lens. With this lens, we have to go back and forth to adjust the composition. And we have to accept the fact of not getting decisive moment that suddenly appeared, but it is quite far away from us, or moment that come very close to us. Number three, the chance of picture getting sick, especially if we don't get shutter speed set properly, are reckoned to set with the minimum 1/250 handheld. Number four, if we set the aperture smaller than f4 and we take picture of a group, the possibility of out of focus in one or more people is bigger, except they are in the same line. So if you are thinking to grab this lens soon, you first really need to learn the characteristic of depth of field range produced by this lens. You can try with some apps like depth of field calculator or hyperfocal pro to get an idea how far is depth of field in certain distance. For example, try set in 15 meter with aperture f2. How many centimeters depth of field range you will get. This video is just my humble and personal review after using this lens in the last 11 years. And I definitely still use this lens in the next years coming. Thanks for watching.